and welcome to the video of Revit to Revit structural analysis. In the previous video, we are able to set out a grid line just like this, and then we carry out dimensioning of our grid lines, after which we move straight away to create elevations up to 7 levels successfully, and then we have to convert the architectural plan to structural plan, which we did. In today's presentation, we are going to be using the structural element in Revit to model our project. And so stay tuned and stay connected as we will dive straight away into the presentation.
Alright, so we are going to start by placing our structural elements. So presently we are at Storey 1 right here. Okay, so any element we place here, like the columns, is going to be connecting Storey 1 and foundations level. Okay, so I want to be taking us from scratch to create element. I wouldn't want to use my template. Okay, so we always go to the structural tab when you want to carry out any structural modeling. So we click on the column right there to set the column sections and as well as the beam. But as first, we will have to navigate to AutoCAD so we can be able to check the column section we are having here in AutoCAD. I click in these provisions and then I do a dimension. I have 450. I repeat that this way by 2 to 5 columns. So this is the column we are going to be considering, okay, as our trial section. All right, so let us get back to Revit. So we navigate to column right there, clicked. So we have this, you can see universal columns right there. If selecting the drop down menu, you can also have rectangular concrete columns. So we pick on one of it right there. Okay, so we have to click on the edit tab. We want to edit it here. So this is the default family. So, and this is the default section. We have to duplicate that. Okay, you don't normally tamper with the default. You duplicate to create your own section. Okay, I duplicate right there. So over here, I will be having 225 by 450 millimeters. So I will write the name right here as column, just like this, column 225 by 450. All right, so I click on OK. So I will come to the dimensions of these columns. I change these proportions to 225, just like this. With this, we are good to go for the column section. Click on Applied and OK. I will want us to set all the sections before we actually start to model. Okay, so we proceed to set the beam member. So we click on the beam right there. So click in these provisions. So in the drop down menu, you can see the first concrete beam, this one. Select any of it right there. Okay, click on the edit tab. All right, as I said earlier, you have to duplicate. So we'll be having the beam depth of 225 by 600. Okay, so you have to give it the name beam. All right, just like this. 225 by 600. We'll be having this beam section. We try this section, click on the OK options, and then we have to change it here to 5, just like this. We'll have to proceed to create another beam section, but you have to apply this one first. Okay, then to create another beam section, you click on this duplicate again. So we will be having the next sections to be 500, just like this. Click on the OK options and then change here to 500. After which you click on the applied. We'll be having another section, so you click on duplicate, and then in this we have 450. We'll have 225 by 450 millimeter beam, just like this. All right, and then we click on the OK options. So we have any provisions 450, just like this. Click on the applied, and then the last section we are going to be having is going to be 300. I duplicate from these provisions and change here to 300, just like this. All right, click on the OK options, and this provisions is 300. All right, and click on applied and OK. So we have created all the necessary sections of our structural element, the beams and columns successfully. We select in these provisions, you can see all the sections we created here. So we can easily select from here and apply to the structure successfully. I click on modify to get rid of that. Okay, so we start by placing our reinforced concrete columns. As I said earlier, we are on level 1. So whatsoever member we are placing, like the columns, is going to connect foundation and story 1. Okay, so I will click on the column right there. So the first column sections that comes up is the one that we set, so we're going to be using that. So placing column in Revit has a various methods. Okay, I can click on the gray line intersection like this to place my column, but to fast track the process, I will use the art grids. I select this and then I pick from here and do a window over the gray line intersections. So all the gray line intersections my window covers, actually we have the column placed like this. You can see column has been placed successfully, but this is not the orientations I actually wanted. So to change the orientation, use the space bar. So I press the space bar on the keyboard. You can see orientations is now arranged. You can see. So I want it like this. Okay. So after which you have to click on finished. Alright, and then you can modify from here. So to have everything set successfully. Now can I delete this? I don't have it for that. DE to delete. Okay. So now we have placed our columns. We want to proceed to set out a shower wall here. Here is a lift well, so we don't need this column here because we have lift well here. Okay, so we don't need this column. We don't need column. So we want to set out the lift well. For us to set out the lift well, we need to get to AutoCAD and look at the lift well from there. So in AutoCAD right here, we have a lift well just like this. So we have to dimension the extent of these projections right here. So this is 760. Okay. All right, so let's get back to Revit so we can actually prepare that. Okay. So over here we will use DL for detail line. This is detail line. When you want to draw line in Revit, DL for detail line. I pick this point and move my hand this way. I have 760. I click and I cut up this. This is going to be a reference line for me. So 760, enter, just like this. So I get rid of that command. I want to start to draw the shower. Now I will navigate to wall. I click in these provisions. You see architectural, structural. So make sure you use structural. I click in that provisions. This is the default wall. Okay. So as I said earlier, don't normally use default. Okay. I click in the edit type. So I have to duplicate. I call this one. I'll call this wall. Just like this. So this is going to be 300. Okay, so I've created this successfully. Click on the OK options, and then we need to also click in this edit provisions, come to the and change here to 300. Click on the OK option. So once click on the OK option, applied, and OK, we are good to go. Start to draw our walls. I pick from this point to this point. Okay, so if you check very well, I have chain. Check here simply means I can draw all around. Okay, I pick this point, I pick this point. So I will escape from here to start from this side and then this point and this point, just like this. I right click and cancel, so I can't modify from here, and then get rid of these lines. I actually use these lines as a reference. Okay, so this is my wall. All right, so the next thing we are going to be drawing is the beams. Okay, but by then let's navigate to 3D to see what we have done so far. So this is what we have so far. Okay, we start to draw the beams. Let's get back to the story or level 1 again. So at this point, this foundation is going to actually be wrapped on beam. Right, navigate to the south directions. You can see what we are actually having here as the wall. See the wall projected beyond the foundations. It's supposed to be 1500. Okay, so we can correct this. If you select this wall just like this, if you check in the provision, you can see base constraint. Okay, it's minus 3,000. You can change that to 1500 to actually correct this. You can see. All right, so we get back to uh, the plan view. Okay, we want to set another beam sections. Okay, that is going to take the foundation depth of 1500. So I click on this beam provisions, edit type, and I duplicate from here. So I'll add 225 by 1500 beam. Okay, just like this. I click on it, okay, and then I will make the change from here 1500, just like this. Okay, click on it, apply that. Okay, so we can also use our grids to actually place the beams. All right, so if you use these options, you can do a window just like this. Release your hand and have your beams placed successfully, just like this. Let's see. So in these other provisions, we can just click on finished from here first. Okay, after we finished, we can now start to place these other provisions just like this. Okay, so having done with this, before we proceed, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Soft Reason. Okay, and we have an ongoing training, Revit and Revit structure. You see over here we have power packs here we used for rebar detailing. Once we finish our design from Revit structure successfully, so you can actually join this training and you will enjoy it. All right, so let us make progress. Also, we have gotten this. Let's check that in 3D. We have this. You can come to visibility and then use shade to actually see what we've done so far. All right, okay, so at this story now, story 1, we want to be navigating the members to story 2, so we need actually the wall and the reinforced concrete columns. All right, so we get to the plan view level 1. Okay, so we can choose to select this one. Select this first one. You can right click and then come to select all instance visible in view. So you get this selected. You can see. So these are the columns. Okay, that is visible in view. All right. I will hold the control key to select the shower. So I needed to also take that to the next story. Okay, just like this. After which we come over to these provisions. Click on copy right here, and after which come to paste and then use the options. We are taking it to level 2 to connect level 1. So click on the OK options. So that is done successfully. All right, click on this level 2 and you see we have the columns right there. Okay, so what we need to do now, if you navigate to the 3D, you can see that the columns are actually not up to the height level 1. All right, so we need to extend it. So for us to extend this column, we just have to navigate to level 2. Okay, you can select all of this column just like this. With the control key to select the remaining of it just like this. Okay, so if you navigate to the 3D now, with these selections, you see we have all the columns on story 2 selected. We want to be sending the bottom constraint to level 1. All right, so you come to these provisions, you can see base level, which is the bottom constraint, and then we have also the base offset. Okay, so we need to change these provisions to level 1, which is the base level, and then the base constraint is going to be 0, just like this. So once you change it like this, and then the top constraint is level 2, so Once you change it like this, it's being extended, you can see. All right, it's being extended. So this is what we actually needed. So having done that successfully, so you can see, you can select between this Storey 1 and Storey 2. Okay, that is it. All right, we want to also extend the shear wall, so I will select and then hold the Control key to have all selected, all the walls selected successfully, just like this. Just hold the Control key to select multiple of the wall, just like this. And then you come over here, you can see base constraint is level 2, and then we also have base offset as this. Okay, here we have top constraint, so for the top constraint also level 2, so change this provisions to level 1. Base constraint supposed to be level 1, and then the base offset we need it to be 0, and they can apply it from here to have it placed successfully. Do you see? This is what we are having, so we are good to go. Fine, we navigate to the plan view of level 2 right here. So we start to create the beams. You know, we have a beam section of 225 by 600. We are going to be using it at this level. I click on the beams provisions right there, so I select in these provisions, I use these options. So I will use these on grids options. I click right there, and then I move this a window to cover the columns provisions. Release my hand to have my beam placed successfully, just like this. I can finish it from here, just like this. All right, so after which I complete the remaining provisions by drawing the beams from columns to columns successfully, just like this. So at this level we have a cantilever, so we have a cantilever beam just like this. So we just have to do a cantilever beam at this level. We have a cantilever beam in these provisions, in this provision. Okay, and then we also have it in these provisions. So all the way to this placed. Okay, we connect the cantilever beams successfully, just like this. Okay, I think we stop somewhere here. Okay, just like this. So we'll also have another beams, the edge beams that will actually connect the cantilever beam successfully. All right, we move this, okay, you connect to this point and that point here, and back to the left way, just like this. So I click on the modify right here, or you can use escape on the keyboard. This is what we are actually expecting. Let's look at it in the 3D. So in the 3D, so you see what we're having here. You can see. Okay, so at the base level here, we'll be having a shear wall all around. Okay, so you can navigate to Storey 1 right there. So we can actually use this shear wall. Okay, but we are going to be using shear wall thickness of 2 to 5 in these provisions, or we can use the 300 thickness shear wall. So we can just create similar from this one. All right, so we pick from this point all the way to this point. Okay, and then you take it here, take it to this point, and then close it up right here, just like this. Right click, cancel command or modify from here. We are required to save this project. I will cancel it for now, and I come to file. So I go to save as, and then project. All right, I click in that provision. So this is lesson 1, which is the previous one. Should in case you are not in that previous lesson 1, where we set the grid lines as well as the elevations. Okay, just check out the video on our channel. So this one is going to be 2. So I make this 2 and I save it just like this. All right, so having saved this successfully, we can navigate to the 3D and then we see what we're having, something of this kind. So this is what we are having. All right, okay, we make progress. Well, to level 2 right there. So at this level 2, we are going to be having our slabs. Also at level 1, supposed to be having our slabs as well. How to use the property of this beam, we create similar, all right, and then we can always connect this. Okay, so we will not have too much panel area. Okay, we want to minimize the panel area at this base of the structure. Okay, so we can choose to have a beam just like this. So make sure while you are drawing your beams, it connects the grid lines intersections successfully, because if it doesn't connect the grid line intersections, analysis may be difficult to carry out. The static analysis may be difficult to carry out. All right, so we connect these beams to the shear wall just like this. Okay, up to this side. Right, and then we have another beam right here. So the connection here you can see is wrong. Right click and then interrupt or get rid of this. Select this DE to delete. All right, so I select this beam, right click, and then I used create similar. I pick from this point and create just like this. Escape, escape, escape to get rid of the command. Right, so at this point we start to place our slabs at this level. Okay, so if you get to 3D to see how it is, this is it. All right, this is how it is. Okay, so let us navigate to the Storey 1. We start to create the reinforced concrete slabs in these provisions. So to use the options, you come to structural panel and then select on the floor provisions, and then see structural floor. Click right there. So this is the default. Click on edit tab and then duplicate it. So we have this to be slab, so give it the name as slab. Okay, use uppercase later, slab. So you're going to be slab 150 thickness. We use 200 here. We are going to be having two thicknesses. Okay, so we use 200 first. All right, click on the OK option, and then we will proceed to click on the edit tab, change here to 200 just like this, and then click on the OK options. We have to apply this first before we now have to duplicate and create the next slab thickness, which is 150 for the floors. So we change that to 150 just like this. Click on the OK options and then come to these provisions and then change here to 150. OK options and click on the applied and OK. So now we start to place the reinforced concrete slabs. So you can actually place the slab using various options. It's either you can draw a rectangle using 2 points, or you can use the pick support, okay, which is the beams. Okay, you can pick the beams, but this beam seems to be okay, this is a shear wall, so it seems to be a kind of a uniformly distributed. All right, so what we do, we can use these options. We can use this first options. If I pick on that options, I pick this point and this point, you see I will have to click on the finished to have my slab placed successfully. I will use this option, don't attach. Okay, so you can see my slab in place successfully. All right, so I will get to use this option again. So I can just select this slab just like this, right click. I can just create similar. All right, so I pick this option again. I pick this point all the way to this point. Sorry, see, this is not correct. So I will right click, cancel that, use the modify, pick this, and then I can be able to adjust this just like this, and then adjust this to the grid line intersections just like this. Okay, so having adjusted, you check the lines is connected successfully. Click on finished. From here I will say don't attach. All right, okay, so we proceed from here to place the rest of the reinforced concrete slabs successfully. So in the same manner, we have successfully placed the reinforced concrete slab just like this. So if I navigate to the 3D, you see my model is now just like this. Okay, so we are going to be copying the floor slab from this level to the next level, which is level 2 successfully. Okay, so I'll get back to level 1 right here, and then I'll select one of the slab right here, and then I will right click. So I will get to where I have select all instances, and then I will choose this option of visible in view to select all the instances that is visible in view, just like this. Get to 3D provisions, and then I will use this copy option from these provisions, come to paste, and then I'll use align to selected levels, just like this. When I'm being asked to save this project, I can click on save to save the project. Okay, so I'm taking it from level 1 to level 2 right here. So I click on the OK options. So this will be generated to level 2 successfully, just like this. You can see what we are now having at this level. Now we'll go to the level 2 plan view. I have my reinforced concrete slab successfully right here. But if you check very well, you notice that the slab line is not being copied alongside. Okay, so we have to undo this and then get back to level 1 again. Select on this slab sign, right click, and then we have to select all instance in the visible view. So all the slab line is being selected. Then you hold the control key and then select the slab itself, just like this. So everything will be selected successfully in this manner. So we just have to select it just like this. Okay, so you can navigate to 3D to actually see your selections successfully, just like this. And then now proceed to copy, and then you have to paste. Align to selected view. Okay, so you can click in these provisions. So we align to this view to this one. Click on the OK option. Give it some time, so it's going to actually align successfully, just like this. If you get back to level 2, you can now see the structural slab line is now copied successfully. Okay, now at level 2 we want to be creating the staircase. Okay, before we proceed to generate these floors. So to create our staircase right here, we are going to be using these provisions. So if I should pick on the dimension, I check this, I'm having this to be 1.2, which is the landing, and then the two rounds are 11.1175, the two round. Okay, that means the entire stair width room is 2.4, which is 2400 millimeters. All right, so I will get rid of this. Okay, and then I select this one, and then I will click on the delete options, and then DC as well to delete. Okay, just like this. So I want to be placing the landing here. So for landing, I'll go to floor. Okay, and then I'll come to structural floor. So I use this option, and then I pick this provision. This is my landing. I finished it from here. So I want to be sending this landing down, okay, because we are at level 2, so it's going to be in between level 2 and level 1. All right, so it's going to be 1500 because each of the level height is 3 meters. So I'll come to this offset, height offset. So I will use minus 1500 millimeters. So this is sent down successfully. Let's see. So if I go to the 3D view, you can see over here where I'm having it right here. I get back to the level 2 right there. So I want to be placing the going. Okay, so we will have to get back to this. I used the slab options. So we go by 200 thickness. Then we click in these provisions and then pick this point. All the way we have to navigate and pick this point right there, just like this. So this is the slab that we have drawn. So you use the slope arrow to actually show the slope directions. All right, so I want this to be directed downward, to slope downward. So I will use this slope. I pick from this point all the way to this point, just like this. So over here I will be using minus 1500, and then I click on finished from here. All right, so then I will come to this provision. Okay, before then, let's get to the 3D. Let's see what we have. So this is what we have in here. Okay, so this is not okay. So this is fine. You can see this is well placed. All right, so this other side now is going to connect. That side is going to connect the level 1 and then the landing successfully. Okay, so I will get back to level 2 right here. I have to place another one right here. Okay, now I'll pick all this floor and then structural floor. So I use these options. I pick from this point all the way, and I'll come down to pick from here, just like this. Then I want to slope this. I want to slope this downward. Okay, I want to slope this downward, so I'll pick this options arrow, use it, and then pick these 2 points to have the slope directions placed successfully. So in this case, I will be having still minus 1500. Okay, as the slope, I finished this, so I will take this one downward. Okay, 1500 as well, the slab. So I'll come to the height offset right here. I select here minus 1500, just like this, which is the height offset. So this will move the this slab here downward. So I go to 3D, see what we're having. It's well placed already. Okay, so you can now see we have been able to model our stairway just like this. So rubber structure, we actually understand this successfully. All right, okay, so for the rest of this video, we are going to be generating from this floor to the next floor successfully. So we take this to Storey 3. Okay, we take this to Storey 3. So what we do, you navigate to Storey 2, and then you can just select everything you have here, just like this, and then you get to 3D to see if you have actually done the selection very well. Just like this, you can see everything is selected successfully. Okay, so having done these selections, you will have to use copy options from here, and then come to paste options. They use align to selected view. Select in this provision, we are going to Storey 3. Okay, and then click on the OK options. So this is going to generate from Storey 2 to Storey 3, including the staircase successfully. You can see what we are having. All right, so this is what we're now having. So at this Storey, we are supposed to change the beam thickness. Okay, we're supposed to change the beam thickness. So what we do here is we can select all the beams at this Storey and change the thickness successfully. How do we do that? Select one of the beam, right click right here, and then you come to select similar. Okay, if you select similar to view, is going to select both the beams at Storey 1 and 2. So what you do is you just have to get to level 2 right there. Where you want to change the beam. Okay, so you look for the beams, select one of it. That is one of the beams. You can see 225 by 600. You right click, and then you can be able to use this option, select all instance to view. You see all the beams being selected successfully. So if you get to 3D to actually confirm that, okay, this is where we are, Storey 2. Okay, sorry, I want to change it from Storey 3. Okay, so we double click on Storey 3 to enable that Storey. This one, I select the beam, and then I will right click and then get to select all instance, disable to view. Okay, so I get to 3D provisions. So this is what I am having right here. You can come to these provisions where you have the beams, and then be able to change the sections from here, and all will be changed successfully. So for instance, I want to be using sections 500 225 by 500 right here. I select it, and then I can allow it to load for some time. So it will load successfully. As you can see, we are now having this section existing. Okay, so these beam sections has been changed from 600 to 500 as the beam depth. Okay, the width remains 225. If I select on this one, you see what we are now having. Okay, Good. Now we want to generate this story to the next story, which is the story 4. Okay, and then story 5. So we get back to the story 3. Okay, so we have to select everything on this story this way, like this. Get to 3D to actually see your selections. Is very correct. Good. From here, we will have to move this by going to copy from here, and then you will come to these provisions and then use align to selected view. So we are looking at story 4, hold the shift key and select story 5 as well. So you click on the OK options to have that generated successfully. So it is actually loading. So this is how you model in Revit. Okay, then we make progress. All right, this has been generated as you can see right here. Fine. So the next thing we are going to be generating to story uh 6, but as story 5 we will change the sections, okay, as well to 450. So we now enable story 5 by double clicking in these provisions. So you select one of it just like this. Okay, you have to just right click and then come to select all instance to view, and then you use these options to select all of that. Go to 3D to see your selections just like this, and then come to these provisions, and then you can be able to select this section now just like this. Okay, give it some time, give it some time. It's going to change successfully just like this. So the section has been changed to 450 25 by 450 depth successfully. So we are going to be generating this story now to 6, to story 6. All right, to story 6 and 7, story 6 and 7. All right, so we only have this story 7. Okay, and the last story. So let's generate this to story 6 and 7 from 5. So you enable 5 and then select all of this. Okay, navigate to 3D to confirm your selections just like this, and then you can now copy from here. So use these options align to selected view. We are looking at 6 and 7 now, and then click on the OK options. You will have this generated as well successfully. All right, okay, so you can see this is generated successfully just like this. All right, so now we want to make modifications to this story. Want to make modification to this story. At this story 7, not all the area of this floor is covered. So when we get to the plan view of story 7 right there, and then we don't have need for this slab, so you just have to delete them manually. The ones that is not supposed to be part of the story should be deleted. This one should not be here, this one as well should not be here. So we don't need beams at this story, these beams. Okay, this one we don't really need it. We don't need this one as well, and then we don't need this column. All right, then this slab as well, we don't need it at this story. All right, get rid of this beam, and as well get rid of these slabs. So this is just what we are supposed to have at this story successfully. Okay, now I haven't gotten this. If you get to 3D right here, this is what you have, and this is what we expected at this story. So we also need a liftway to be connected to this story up. Okay, so we need to create additional one level to actually have that placed successfully. All right, so we make progress from here. So what we now need to do, we get to south view, so we can create one more level. So from here, I can select the level, from here and use copy from this provision, pick this point, take it up. So we have that level to be 3 meters, so we type in 3000 millimeters, enter on the keyboard and escape. Okay, so we can see what we have. So we can now select this, so we can adjust, but you cannot adjust this because we have already pinned it, so you just have to unpin it from here. So once you unpin it, you can now select it and then be able to adjust it upward just like this. You can see. All right, so once it is adjusted just like this, we can now proceed to level 7th right here. So at the level 7th, we will only generate the lift well from here. So we select the lift well just like this. So select the lift well. Okay, we can navigate to 3D. So you have our lift well just like this selected. Okay, we come over to copy and then we have to paste in these provisions to level. We are seeing level 9 here. Okay, all we're having is level 9, so this is supposed to be edited. And again, let's check something. I want to be showing us something from here. So I will get to south elevations. If we see that this particular level now is an architectural level, okay, this is a structural level. You can see the differences. So we need to make this a structural level, okay, just as this one. You can see the color differences. All right, so for us to do that, you have to go to view right there, and then you will come to where you have plan view, select this provision and then structural plan. So we have level 9 right here. Okay, so select that and click on the OK. It will be changed to structural level. Let's get back to the south. You can see this has changed to structural level. Okay, so you can rename the level as well. This is showing us 9, so we can just call this 8 right here. Click in these provisions. Would you like to rename corresponding level? Yes, options. Have it as 8 right here. All right, just like this. So now we can proceed to generate the lift well. So we go back to the level 8. Okay, top views of level 8, because at level 8 we don't have any structural element. We only have it at level 7, so we have to generate from 7 to 8 successfully. All right, so we select all of this just like this. You can navigate to 3D right here, and then you'll be able to generate this, okay, to 3D. So what you have to do, just get to copy from here, paste from these provisions just like this, 8 options, and then click on the OK to have it pasted just like this. Navigate to the level 8. You have the lift well. We need to also cover it with reinforced concrete slab. We get back to structural tab, selecting this provision, structural slab. We used 150 slab thickness, these options. All right, and then we pick from that point rectangle. So we placed it just like this and click on the finished to have it placed. Okay, if we get back to 3D, this is what we are now having. So with this, we are done with this modeling. So we are going to be preparing this for robust structural analysis. Okay, so if you have watched up to this point and then you have not still subscribed or like this particular video, please do well to like this video and subscribe successfully. Now you can see what we having. Okay, so in the next presentations we will be discussing how we can prepare this for our structural analysis interpretations. Okay, now we have just finished our modeling. We have to now prepare it so that robust structural analysis can be able to understand it, and then we export it to robust structure successfully for structural loading analysis and design. All right, so we are going to be stopping in this place. We'll stop here to be continued in the next presentations.